this is kind of the highest honor for skiing sport, period. And being the first ever Native American Indian to ever be inducted, I think that's going to open up a lot of doors for our next generations, our next leaders, that they know there are no boundaries and they can do what they want. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. And hopefully that path will guide them to better things.
Well, you happen to have skied at over a speed of over 150 miles per hour. What does that even feel like? I can't understand it.
So, when and it's kind of hard to explain, especially if it's, a person that never skied before, or, you know, has gone maybe 80 miles per hour on a car. But it's when you're in that zone, when you're in that mentality of going that fast, you can actually slow your body down. You can slow your brain down to the point where you're seeing in front of you slower things than it really is. So it's kind of like the inner outer body experience of kind of seeing yourself in third person in a way. And it's the coolest thing ever because you can see what's kind of in front of you. It's kind of like playing chess. So it's kind of like that where you have two moves ahead. You always think about two moves ahead. So you two moves ahead, you're seeing what's going to come next. If it's the track is a little bumpy, you already know what you're going to be doing. You can can work with it. You're not working against it, but you're working with it, and it's probably the coolest thing ever. The sensation of going that fast, because that's 123 miles an hour, which is terminal velocity. That's somebody falling out of a plane, like just literally free falling. So we're going faster than that. And yet all we have is a helmet that's aerodynamic. It's your only protection at that point. And you're only a foot and a half off the ground. And you're on these 240 skis, which is about 8 feet long skis. And that's it. So um, you really have to be confident in what you do, and take everything with stride. And it's one of those things where you just got to get out of that comfort zone, and that kind of helps you out to identify who you want to be next.
You have openly shared that you were adopted by a white family. How has identity played a role in your life?
Of course, in the beginning, especially when you're so small and you're so young, um, you you kind of feel like you're not don't belong there because you're not seeing what you see in the mirror, and then compared to what your family is. And, it took me some time. I guess it was more like middle school is when you start to identify, you're different, and you have different peers that are not the same color. And it's, especially in Durango, being more dominant in a Caucasian town, it was to me it wasn't, to the point of um, really making a difference with them. To me, they were just friends. Yeah, when you get older, and then you start kind of seeing the difference in things, and but then you get your challenges as well. But you conquer those challenges, and you stand up for what you believe in and who you are, and it took some time, but um, you have to find that right identity for you to really strive to go forward.
What would your advice be to someone who wants to do something they've never done before and maybe have never seen anyone they can relate to in that space?
Well, I mean, it's just you never give up on what you do and what you really feel and truly feel. Don't don't listen to others, because it's you yourself who's going to make that decision by um, proceeding for what it is you're going to be doing, either studies or academics, athletics, or anything like that, government, you name it. You can, just make sure and take that stride and understand there are going to be It's going to be difficult, but you stick with it no matter what.
What are some other things that helped you along the way, or were there any people who inspired you?
Well, I mean, it's really you yourself who's going to be the one who's going to inspire yourself to do what you um, truly want to do, especially if there's really nobody there that um, you kind of looked up to. I mean, in skiing sport, it's really kind of hard for me to identify anybody. You know, like, the Olympics was there, and the athletics were there, and the athletes were there, but there was really no one person that's just like, hey, just because you did it, I'm going to do it. It was more of, well, I want to make that path, and I want to be the first one. So, when it comes to that, you have more determination than you're a normal person who would look up to somebody, I think, and you're basically paving that way to make that dream and make that path.
Well, Ross Anderson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.